My name is John Thornton, and I am an artist and know a lot of artists. So over the years, I've collected quite a number of artworks by friends, and I think I'll give you a little tour. I went to the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, and my first year I met a guy who had just come back from Vietnam named John Whitney, and he and I became lifelong, extremely close friends. And John had a kind of a patient elegance in his way of painting. He does landscapes, figures, and still lifes, and I have a number of his paintings. Here's part of a still life he did. Here's a small landscape he did from the Harrisburg area. And here's another of John's really beautiful still life paintings. Another friend is a woman named Taryn. My wife and I have a number of her drawings and some paintings downstairs. Here's a watercolor by Taryn. Incredibly skillful and painterly approach. She once told me that she's nearsighted and she'll always start her artwork off by taking off her glasses and just trying to get the large shapes. And it's only after she has the basic gestalt of the composition that she puts her glasses back on and goes for the detail. Here is an amazing painting, a little bit of glare. I'll try to get to the side. But this is Taryn painting of Manayunk, which is a very picturesque area in Philadelphia. Boy, is she good. Perhaps the greatest of all the local Philadelphia area realist painters. Actually, I take that back. There's so many good ones, but he is definitely in the top echelon. This is a guy named Randall Exon. He shows at a big-time gallery in New York. This is a painting he did of the South Pacific many years ago. That's my father back in the 1940s when he was at Yale. This is an artwork by a friend who now lives in North Carolina named Annette. Incredibly beautiful artwork. Annette de Ferrari, and she is a graphic designer / painter, probably more painter than graphic designer these days. Now this is by a very good artist. I think he lives in New York now. He worked in Philadelphia for years. His name is Colley. His work relates to that sort of Chicago school of art. This is called the Skinny Dipper, and it's quite imaginative. He has this sort of blue glass, his drawing of a guy who's been thrown out of a boat by some thugs. And you can see this snapping turtle kind of looking at his penis, I guess. A little bit scary and funny in the same way. This, and I'm sorry about the glare, because many of these are under glass, but this is by a friend named Andrea Packard, who now is a teacher and runs the gallery, I think, at Swarthmore College, one of the really great American academic institutions. There was a guy at the academy when I was there named Doug Ferrin. Extremely talented guy. He was a figurative painter and a landscape painter. And this is a painting of California, a small painting. It's just beautiful. Of all the things we own, oops, this is a horrible light. Let me see if I can pick this up. This is one of the really beautiful paintings. This is by a woman named Tina Newberry. Tina, I think, is really terrific. She does mostly self-portraits and just an amazing artist, extremely inventive and creative. The Pennsylvania Academy is a very good school for learning traditional techniques. This is our lifelong friend Giovanni Casadei. I've made a couple films about him before, and he'll come and visit us and do these wonderful paintings of the beach. We live in Ocean City. Another extraordinarily gifted artist, a guy named Stanley Bielen. Back after we graduated, he and I traded paintings. I definitely got the better of the deal. This is just an amazing still life of chrysanthemums by Stanley Bielen. Well, this is probably the best painting I ever did. This is of my wife, and I did this in 1980 in my last year at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. She was sitting there watching Leave It to Beaver for months as I painted her. This is a painting I did of the male members of my family. This is my twin brother, Jim, who's a National Magazine Award winner. That's me up there. This is Jim's son, Jack, who is really the great filmmaker in our family. He's been doing it since he was very young and is very talented at it. This is his older brother, Ben, who is one of the most likable guys you'll ever meet. This was done a number of years ago, so Ben, I think, is 21 now. And this is my late and extremely wonderful father. Oh boy, was he a wonderful guy. This is by our wonderful friend and extremely talented artist, Liz Wilson, who also went to the Academy. And this is a gouache of Manioc, that same section of Philadelphia that Taryn painted. This is a painting by a guy named Kurt Solmssen, who now lives out in Washington State, but he grew up in the Philadelphia area, and he is also quite a successful artist showing in New York. This painting, which I always found incredibly poetic, is of a abandoned building in Philadelphia, the Jack Frost sugar plant, and he really has a kind of a poetic feeling for it.